Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. It's your boy Big Zeke in the building. Here, my brother. Let's go, Travis.
What's good, people? How's everybody doing? Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks on their 9-0 season, looking like a championship squad early on.
Sir.
What's good, people? I'm happy to be here.
Salute to the mill.
Happy to be here with my brother Keith.
Y'all want to introduce yourselves first?
You know
y'all just want to jump into
it's
it?
your boy Keith in
What
the
up,
building.
Zeke? In the building. How you doing, bro?
It's a pleasure to be in the building with my brother Dre again.
Right,
Tone, how you doing, brother? We happy to be here with you too.
Our new non-sponsor, Life Water.
Whoa, Tone. Whoa. You know what?
Shout out to my brothers.
I can't wait till next week. Anyways.
Oh, because the Packers play the Cowboys? Oh, boy. Should we take next week off? What time is the game?
4 o'clock.
Oh, we record, so you won't be able to watch it.
You know how
What? now we can't watch. Oh, now I can't peek on the score.
No. We have to be loyal to our job. Ain't that what you
in the great words of him.
Ain't that what you said? I mean, wait.
How the tables have turned.
Do you know
how the tables have turned.
Do you know how many Packer games I've missed because of your lecturing? Do you know how many games
Not
I've
that
missed?
many. And you still sitting there watching the score. Oh, Packer just scored.
Tone, I will give you $20 if you don't turn no TV on in here next week.
Hey, Tone. You ain't got to worry about it. That's why I got a phone. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to do nothing. The phone right here in front of me.
Hey, all I want to say before this game, because Zeke is not going to let us hear the end of it, I said it at the first game of the season.
Hey, buddy.
No, let me get it out.
You ain't got to tap dance your way out of this. You're a Packer fan.
I'm a
So
Packer.
just take the L.
I'm a
Just
Packer.
take it.
I'm a
Just
Packer
take the
fan.
L.
But I said at the beginning of the season,
Just take the L.
we're taking the L, but I need to preface this.
No.
You
Because you want to make a soft blow with it. Like, at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we was going to be doing that much
How
anyway.
bad would y'all look if y'all lost to us?
Well, listen, here's the thing.
Right.
I said,
it could always turn, but the fact that y'all on a 5-game losing streak,
well, I think it's great for
y'all just lost to the one.
Let's take it there since we're here. Let's take it here. A rare football conversation. A rare football conversation.
We got some time.
At the beginning of the season, I said I did not have high expectations for the Packers this season because we didn't have anybody. Did I not say that, Kesey? Check the text messages.
There we go.
And then second of all, as a Packer fan, this type of embarrassment is actually good for Aaron Rodgers. I said what I said. Because he walks around like he is untouchable. He walks around like he does nothing wrong. He took all the money in which we couldn't sign superstars like Devontae Adams. We couldn't pick up Odell Beckham if we wanted to. We couldn't get a solid defense. And furthermore, David Bakhtiari needs to retire. That's what I'll say about the Packers in this small segment of football talk.
Yeah, I'm sick of David Bakhtiari too. He plays one quarter and then he's out 7 games. every year.
Did he get hurt again today?
Yeah.
I think he played.
He got hurt again today?
He played third and fourth quarter, though.
But he got hurt.
I think so.
He got hurt. He took it. So the Green Bay Packers, I think fans need to embrace that we are entering our rebuilding years. And when this season is over, and Aaron has given us many great seasons. He's only given us one championship, but he's given us many great seasons. The Packers need to start looking to the future. If you think about the Packers franchise in the past 30 years, we had 2 quarterbacks, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, a backup in Hasselbeck, Jordan Love, Brett Hundley. We have been spoiled as Packer fans to have good offensive quarterbacks. But in all of those good offensive years, to only get 3 titles is a huge disappointment as a Packer fan. Tom Brady is the GOAT. I don't want to hear people talking about Aaron Rodgers being the GOAT because he is not. He is obviously very talented. But you need weapons to be a good team. If you look at your Dallas Cowboys, they're 6-2. They're not 6-2 on the back of your starting quarterback, because in fact, your starting quarterback only played 2 of those games before he went down to injury. It's what the team can do to make a good football team, right or wrong. It's what the team can do. So, Packers, we love you. It sucks that this season is like this, but y'all, we will not hear the end of it if the Cowboys beat Green Bay, especially if they embarrass them.
I'm not gonna bring that type of energy to this show. I just want to put that out there. Am I a Dallas Cowboy fans? Yes.
Oh boy.
But I'm not gonna bring that type of energy to the show, and I will be here despite what you guys think. Now,
want to put a little money on it?
I'm all about it. All about it.
Well, you want to put a little money on it?
No. There's no need for all that.
Okay then.
Because I don't.
Then I don't want to hear no trolling. If you
That's an easy win for your team. Why wouldn't you bet?
I don't need that.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Everybody.
Now, will you get a FaceTime phone call? Probably. Will you get a? You'll get a phone call. You can't get FaceTime, but you'll get a phone call. Other people will get phone calls and so on and so forth. But hey, things will happen any given Sunday. Y'all can win. So, you know,
we can't.
Y'all almost won today.
We didn't.
But, you know,
he threw
hey,
two
that's neither
interceptions
here nor there.
in the red zone.
There's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it is.
This is a basketball podcast. Let's move on.
He's looking like Favre on his way out.
Yeah, he is. It's looking like he shouldn't be playing this game.
Can we move on, guys?
No, we were talking. We want to get Kesey's take. We don't do this often. We can get a little football talk.
Kesey, what's your
what's your take on our Green Bay Packers in this season, man?
Mm-hmm. How about the Bucks?
9-0. Go Bucks. That's too low now, Tom. What up? Got it. Let's go Bucks.
Let's go Bucks. 9-0. Historic start to the season. Last night we won pretty. I forgot how many points we won by, but without Giannis. It was
a blowout.
I expect this to go 15-0. To be really honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
They have the Hawks tomorrow, so that might be a tough challenge for them.
If Giannis wins, I don't see us.
Last game.
Huh?
Ice Trey had 42 on this last
game.
He
did. And I think if Giannis plays, we win. If Giannis does not play, it could be different. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, not only that, what's the name? Clint Capella is playing up and down. Mm-hmm. So he'll have a double-double, then he'll have two.
Well, I don't expect any less. So
you are hard on people, man.
Anyways, also real quick, Rest in Paradise to take off the rapper from the rap group Migos. Rest in Paradise, my brother. Dre, you want to start us off with the injury report?
Yeah, for sure. In injury news, the Brooklyn Nets are without Ben Simmons. He is out with a knee injury, allegedly. The Cleveland Cavaliers are without Darius Garland with a sprained left knee. The New York Knicks are without Mitchell Robinson with knee soreness. He is listed as day-to-day. The 76ers are without Joel Embiid. He is out with an illness, an undisclosed illness.
Non-COVID
related. They are also without James Harden, who has a right foot tendon strain. He is out up to 6 weeks. That doesn't surprise me with all that working out he did this summer to drop all that weight. He probably put a lot of pressure on them feet of his. So the Suns are without Cameron Payne, foot soreness. The Trailblazers are without Anthony Simmons. He has a foot injury, and they are also still without their superstar Dame Lillard. The Raptors are without Siakam. He has a right, what is that? Adductor? What is that? Well, I have to look that up. He is out for 2 weeks. But also, as I was coming in, I saw that Bradley Beal is out on COVID protocol for the Washington Wizards. So, again, the injury bug is still alive and very well in the NBA.
All right, we're going to move into our segment of Shoot Around, where we talk about news, rumors, trades, and everything else going on in the NBA.
Who? That's what this report says.
The report was
it says sprained left knee out to be determined. Well, that's good. Maybe he's in, you know. Well, that's good. So Garland is back, but sometimes when the injury reports come out, things change up to, right to the minute.
I mean, the Lakers are losing currently, right?
Yeah.
Are the Lakers losing?
Anthony Davis should be out.
Are the Lakers losing, Keith?
Hey, can we say this, though? Shout out to Westbrook off the bench. Shout out to Westbrook off the bench.
Last week we talked about it a little bit. Jesus Christ. It is shout out to Westbrook. I think he's buying in. No, you know what? Not shout out to Westbrook. Shout out to Darvin Ham for making him buy in. I think at first he thought it was hurt his numbers, but now he is buying into this whole 6-man role, and this might save his career. To be really honest with you,
yeah.
There are times where now I will say this. I forgot who they were playing, but like he didn't play the whole fourth quarter. But there are other times where he is holding this team. I think it was their last game. He was the only one really scoring.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like you got to take the good with the bad. He obviously one of those guys who wants to be in there in those pivotal moments in the game, but that's not always what he's needed for. So as long as I think this 6-man role could save his career. I don't know if he'll see it like that, but it could.
That's a good take. I actually agree with that because a lot of people were calling for Russell Westbrook's head.
Yeah.
When the Lakers started 0-5. And then the minute he got off the bench, Laker fans, you know what they're chanting now?
Yeah,
MVP.
Yeah, but I mean, fans are flip-floppity at the end of the day.
Oh,
we all flip-floppity.
We are.
We are flip-floppity.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, 1 minute your team is Super Bowl and bust, the next thing you know, you're calling for the quarterback's head. Let's neither here nor there. Anyways, let's get into it.
Man, you can't wait for that game.
You
take a day off? Should we call someone from one of your other podcasts to sit in for you? I know you like a few around the city.
No, man, I'm here. This is where my time is dedicated. No, this is where my time is dedicated to. Okay, this is where my time is dedicated.
Oh, enjoy your game, man.
No, brother. I'll be right here. I'll be right here. I'll be right here.
Take us in the shoot around, brother.
Anyways, the Brooklyn Nets fired their head coach Steve Nash.
This is on behalf of Dre. Thank you. Continue.
What does that mean?
Good. But continue.
Stevie Wonder could see Steve Nash was finna get fired. What are you talking about? You said that was a hot take. Stevie Wonder, like, what is y'all doing out there? What is y'all doing?
Leave Stevie alone. Go ahead.
Anyways, Udoka? Nia Long, fiance, is in line to be the next head coach. But for the time
being, go ahead.
Nina, baby. I told you. You do better.
He is in line to be the next head coach. But for the time being, the interim head coach is Jacques Vaughn. Is it Jacques Vaughn?
Jack. That's another way to spell Jack.
Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Was Nash the problem or was he the scapegoat?
Nash was the problem. It takes a special, and we've talked about this so many times, my brothers. It takes a special coach to coach superstars. You have Kevin Durant, who's a pouty baby. You have Kyrie Irving, who is everything but a basketball player. You have Ben Simmons, who not only has his issues on the court, off the court. You don't really have a bench, right? Your shooters are injured. Steve Nash was never a good fit for the Brooklyn Nets. They should have never hired him in the first place. He is not Steve Kerr. He is not any other former player coach that can actually make things happen.
See, here's my thing about that. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when Steve Nash, because there was one season where they were a toenail from the NBA Finals.
Because of Kevin Durant, not of coaching.
It's always because of the players as far as playing. But if they're going to get celebrated, why can't we talk about why they're not winning? Because I will say this, Ben Simmons situation, not Steve Nash's fault.
Nope.
Kevin Durant getting hurt, not Steve Nash's fault.
Nope.
Kyrie acting the way Kyrie acts is not Steve Nash's fault.
Nope.
So if you just said no to all three of those things, and those are your main superstars, how is this on Steve Nash?
Phil Jackson controlled the egos of Shaq and Kobe. And hold up, you asked me a question. Let me answer.
You're right. Go ahead.
They hated each other and won 3 championships and had multiple finals appearances.
Did he have a resume?
Let me finish.
Did he have a resume?
That doesn't matter. Exactly. So if you're trying to build a championship team with Kevin Durant, who you already know is super emotional, Kyrie Irving, who is probably the Dennis Rodman of today's NBA in terms of off the court antics, and a guy in Ben Simmons who really doesn't want to play basketball, you need a coach with a high IQ of the game of basketball. Former players don't always make good coaches. When I say high IQ for coaching. And if you would have brought in a guy that's experienced in coaching superstars, experience in handling players with big egos and emotional problems, you would have did just fine.
Mm.
So I don't think Steve Nash was ever the right guy for the job. I don't think Nia Long's husband is the right guy for the job, as you would say. I don't think he's the guy because his issues from Boston are sure to carry over here, and it's going to be a distraction, right? When the Nets get on the TV at the end of the game, what do you think they're going to say? What are the updates on your pending case in Boston? Could you tell us about the women that you've had alleged affairs with?
If he's with her, they won't answer.
There isn't any legal. There isn't any like criminal charges.
There isn't because he didn't do anything wrong. All he did was have an adulterous affair.
It was only organization. Rule.
Yep.
So which doesn't carry over to the next organization. That's only that organization.
I'm not talking about the action. I'm talking about people will still talk about it because now he's in front of the cameras to defend it. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah, he got to be prepared for that if he want to work again.
So Kesey, are you? That is true too. What are you saying? Are you saying this is on Nash, or are you saying this is on the players? Because go ahead. I'm gonna let you rock though.
I feel it's both, but at the end of the day,
so you going to safe route?
Somebody's got to go. Are you going to give up your $1 million man KD
before he walks away,
or are you going to give up Kerr? That's what it all.
Nash.
That's what I mean. Nash. My bad. That's the other day. Another story. Okay.
What?
But he knew what I was going to say.
I did.
But anyway, I think Nash had to go. It was already issues coming into the season. They just needed one excuse. 2-5 start with probably the best offensive player in the league. Two of the best offensive players in the league, and you still struggling to beat people?
But this is my thing. Here's my thing about that.
Because if you got some good, because my thing is if you got some good coaching, some defensive coaching philosophies, they be winning more games than what they do.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we all know what Kyrie and KD can do on the offensive side. We know that. The Nets' problem was on the defensive side. Now, when you talk about putting it on the head coach and stuff like that, I will say this. I don't think Steve Nash had a fair shake.
What?
And I feel like, let me finish. I don't feel like Steve Nash had a fair shake in the fact that when he got hired, one of the first things, quotable quotes that Kyrie said was, we don't need a coach. Like he was down and due before when he first got the job, he was down and due. Now this is coming from a cat who didn't even play because of the COVID protocol. So he wasn't even playing, but he still had a whole lot to say. And my thing is when you have a guy who was first starting, now we all know Steve Nash is a great basketball player. And there is something there when you say first year coaches shouldn't be put in this type of environment. I get that. But if you put them in an environment, because all the great coaches, quote unquote, great coaches like Steve Kerr and coaches like Mike Brown or even Tyronn Lue, they got put in positions where, we really didn't need you to say too much. And that's why I say, like, if a head coach has ever had LeBron James, I don't want to hear your coach of the year. I don't want to see you being regarded as one of the greatest coaches to ever step on a court because you had one of the greatest basketball players to ever step on a court. So there wasn't much for you to do.
So then how can Phil Jackson get credit?
Because Phil Jackson brought a philosophy to Michael Jordan because he brought a philosophy to Michael Jordan.
But you just contradicted what you said.
No, I didn't.
Just said anybody.
What did he bring? What did they bring to LeBron James?
But you said anybody who has Coach LeBron cannot say they can get Coach of the Year, this or that, this and this and that, right?
Yeah, I do say that.
Same thing go for Jordan. Those teams is only good because of Jordan.
No.
Without Jordan in those systems,
Phil Jackson brought a philosophy to Michael Jordan. A philosophy. And Jordan, great example. Where's Mike Brown at?
And Jordan brought.
Where's Mike Brown at?
And Jordan brought a different talent.
Where's Mike Brown at?
Sacramento.
And what are they doing?
They're bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, because they left him in Cleveland. They left him in Cleveland with nobody.
Before this Clipper job, what was he doing in Cleveland? Hey, get LeBron the ball. Get LeBron the ball.
So
Mike Spoelstra up in Miami.
Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra. Get LeBron the ball.
Eric Spoelstra is a good coach, though.
It had to be proven.
They won before LeBron.
No, after LeBron.
They won before LeBron.
No, they didn't.
Dwayne
not
Wade
with him.
Dwayne
Not with
Wade.
him.
Yeah, they did.
That was with Pat Riley.
Oh yeah, Pat.
You're
did
right.
step down
Thank
that
you.
year.
Spoelstra was an assistant though.
Okay.
He was an assistant.
Stop it.
So what?
Stop.
No, but it's leading me to the point. Steve Nash came right into a head coaching job without any coaching experience at all.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen in today's NBA.
That doesn't.
2 points I want to make.
Go ahead.
You talked about I'm going to blame two people. Nash should have been out of there, but let's not forget Kevin Durant called this at the beginning of the season. He said me or Nash. Let's not forget that he planted this seed, and now they didn't water the seed and got rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing, coaching matters because as bad as the Lakers are, they are still ranked one of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
They just offensively can't get it together.
They just can't score.
Yeah, I get it.
So coaching matters. So Darvin Ham taught them how to be a top defensive team. You know who the number one defensive team in the NBA is right now?
Who?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not because players naturally get it. It's because Bud from that Coach Pop system has taught them how to play. Let me tell you something. Hold up.
Before he went to the Bucks, where was he at?
He was in Atlanta.
And what was they doing?
He won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, they were winning.
They were winning, and he was in the playoffs. He won Coach of the Year.
What I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that none of those guys
and I'm no Bud supporter. Trust me.
I'm a Bud supporter. Now, as a fan, I question some of the stuff he does sometimes, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we question some of the things you do sometimes, but hey, here we are.
Exactly.
Everybody
on a winning team, sometimes. You're welcome. On a winning team, you're welcome. But the point is,
what winning team? The Cowboys?
You're done. You're done.
I was quiet that whole time, and then you interrupted me. Can I finish? No.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that. With that being said, like I'm not putting all the blame on Nash this is what I heard about Nash. This is what I heard from I talk to people in the NBA. When Nash came he talked to the GM, he was talking to the owner, he was like, hey, what's going on there? He's like, I can't get these guys to buy in. And then that was the last conversation they had. Next time he got fired.
Well, why would you say that?
Because it's the truth.
Because they can't buy it because it shouldn't be
if you have Kyrie and Kevin Durant trolling you, saying it's either him or me, or man, we don't really need no coach. If you have these guys saying this stuff already, then why would the other people buy in? And that's my whole point. Before we talk about Phil Jackson, we talk about Tyronn Lue, like these guys. Not even Tyronn Lue, but I'm talking about other people who had resumes for players to buy into. So when that coach walks into that training facility, and you're like, "Oh, that's Pop," hey man, Pop that won championships, Pop that had this such and such and such. Or like to me, before Tyronn Lue had this job with the Clippers, I didn't care. I don't want to hear about what he did. What'd you do? Tell them to pass LeBron the ball? Before the Miami Heat,
do you think teams actually win off of just saying that? Because if that's the case, then the Lakers should be number one. Then,
well, LeBron is old.
That's all they're doing right now, telling them to pass the ball.
Well, he old.
Man, shut your face, man.
Those are
good coaches, and you need to give them credit for what they've done.
So I guess Steve Nash is not a good coach.
Don't be that guy. He's not.
No, he's not.
Okay.
There's a difference.
He's not. Just like we always say, you say it. This is your line.
I'm listening. What's my line?
The greats find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
That is your line.
Yeah, I do.
Good coaches find a way to get it done.
Oh, that's not always true.
Coach Bud, and we were riding Coach Bud in the 2021 finals. We all were. We know you like to play the tapes. We all were.
You want to
pull it up. Right, Coach Bud found a way to get it done in game 6. He found a way to adjust. He found a way to get Giannis outside of the paint and play the game that Giannis plays.
Hold on a second, though, real quick. Now, that year that we got bounced out by Toronto, and we were like, Bud, make adjustment.
Sure.
We were calling for like, hey, fire Bud. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Now look where we at.
But it took for him to lose to start making those adjustments that he needed to make.
So this
Steve Nash made no adjustments.
Hold on a second, though. This is really technically, this is Steve Nash's first season losing like this. Last year, the Nets were on top, balling, and then Kevin Durant got hurt, and then that was it.
But let's be honest with this though.
And then on top of that, you're only as good as the cast around you.
Right.
So it's like Steve Nash talking about like these players ain't buying into what I'm talking about.
He should have never said that. He should have never said that.
If that's true.
Hey, boss, I'm late today. Even though you came in an hour after me, I was late today. You feel me? Hey, boss, I found $10,000 on the ground. I know we were short, but I took it.
We can see though.
You feel me?
This is my thing though. 1 + 1 is 2. Hey, we see you on the camera coming in late. That wasn't me.
You know what I'm saying?
That
like,
wasn't. No, you be like that wasn't me.
No.
But you got to remember,
No. He was wrong.
only certain people are get that respect, and if you don't set that tone from day one, they ain't gonna respect you.
We still asking for Mark Jackson to get a job.
Who asking?
I'm
not asking.
I'm not asking. We're wondering why he doesn't have a job.
Because he wasn't a good coach. He wasn't. Let me just say this.
Hold on. He was a good coach.
No,
He
I
wasn't.
want to hear this
He
because
wasn't.
the
But
Mark Jackson.
But Mark Jackson doesn't have a filter
Let me tell you
when it
this.
comes to coaching.
Let me tell you this.
Hold on, real quick. I've had players. Not I have players, but I've heard players.
I really think you Adrian Woj over here, man.
I've heard players like through podcasts and stuff like that, and different, whatever. But I've heard players say, "Hey, Mark Jackson was the guy who was giving me confidence to shoot from wherever. Mark Jackson was the guy who was such and such and such." So when Steve Kerr walked in, it was like, "Hey guys, let's do this."
Hold on. Before you even go any further,
Go ahead.
without Mark Jackson, your boy would be in Milwaukee right now.
That's not
Right now.
Don't you dare, because
Listen.
that's
No.
not
Hold on.
that's not a
Hold
hot
on.
take. That's a fact.
Let me tell you.
I just want to say I've been patiently waiting the rebuttal, but go ahead because I'm ready. Go ahead.
Steph Curry will tell you himself if he could.
I've
Listen,
heard the
can I
audio.
finish?
He said it.
Oh, now it's can I finish after you didn't interrupt it 90 times.
That wasn't me. That was him that kept interrupting. I've been quiet over here today.
Go ahead.
The organization was saying we're going with Monte Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks were like, we don't know about Curry.
Mm-hmm. He was always hurt.
Jackson was like, listen, keep Curry, trade Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
I promise y'all it will pay off.
Mm-hmm.
He told Curry to keep shooting. And what did it do?
It got them 4 championships.
Huh.
So
you should be thanking Mark Jackson right now. Actually, because without Mark Jackson, your boy probably wouldn't be who he is.
So first of all, 2 things. That is a blasphemous thing to say. Turn off the claps. At the time, the Bucks picking Monte Ellis was the right move because no one knew, other than Coach Mark Jackson, that Steph Curry was going to have the career he did. No one knew. Folks wrote off Steph Curry. He was an underpaid, small point guard with a daddy that played in the NBA.
But that's why I just told you.
Let me finish.
You should thank Mark Jackson.
I don't even thank Mark Jackson for anything. The second thing about Mark Jackson, when he had 2 years with Golden State, this is what I agree with. Has Mark Jackson been blackballed? Absolutely.
Nobody said that, but
does he? He has.
Mm-hmm.
Does he deserve a chance to coach? Absolutely. But here's why I say he wasn't a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
His 2 years in Golden State, there were the playoffs. How many times? None.
Mm-hmm.
The year that Steve Kerr took over, a winning culture was introduced to Golden State.
They were in the playoffs when Mark Jackson was coaching.
They were not. They were not. He lost for that reason. There was not a playoff. Look it up.
The day so you telling me the year they had Baron Davis,
they were not a playoff team.
Steven Jackson.
They were not a playoff team.
They were not in the playoffs when they were wearing the shirts that said, what did the shirt say?
He wasn't the coach.
Who was the coach?
Don Nelson.
Was Don Nelson the coach that year?
Yeah.
You sure?
I think so.
We're gonna look it up because I one of my buddies, he has a great way of hitting me up like, Dre, that wasn't right. This is right. That fact wasn't right. Shout out to my homie Big T. Love you, bro. So the last time the Golden State Warriors made it to the playoffs, pre-Steph Curry years, was the 2006,
we talking about the Mark Jackson
2007
years.
Mark Jackson was the coach of Golden State last win. When did he get fired? When was Mark Jackson the last coach of the Golden State Warriors?
I don't know.
Okay.
This is your hot
take. It was pre-2012. Mark Jackson was the coach of the Golden State Warriors pre-2012. He coached the Warriors. His last season was, let me see. Mark Jackson coaching records.
Okay.
Mark Jackson was the coach. He coached the 2012 season, the 2011-12 season, the 2012-2013 season, and the 2013-2014 season. Now, the Golden State. Go ahead.
Before you go in it, why do you keep doing that?
Go ahead.
The 2011-2012 season, they were 66 and 23.
They were 23 and
23
and 43.
The second season, they were 47 and 35.
Third season.
And the third season, they were 51. So they improved every year that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I stand corrected, but did they make the playoffs?
In the playoffs, the 2012, 2013 season,
mm-hmm.
they won 6 and they lost 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that was under Mark Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
2013, 2014.
Okay. I stand corrected. Go ahead.
They lost 4.
I stand
corrected. They were in the playoffs, like I said.
Okay. So you got one right. Congratulations out of 50. You got one right. Wow. So, well, he said the mother. I had to throw something in there. But let me say this. Let me say this. Mark Jackson. Do I take back what? Hold up. Let me finish.
That Kyrie mentality.
I didn't say nothing racist.
Don't even want to apologize.
I didn't reach. I said I stand corrected.
No, you said.
Didn't I say I stand corrected?
Woohoo! Thanks for being right. 1 and 5.
That's
rude.
It's called a backhand compliment.
That's
Dre is very good at that.
Very good.
He's very good at that.
That's after you said the mother sucker word. You almost called.
That's his logo.
Let me tell you something. Mark Jackson. Let me say this. I will take back the comment about him not being a good coach now that I read the stats. However, what's the man's name? Steve Kerr took the same team, and won championship. So let me say this. Mark Jackson created the formula, and Steve Kerr took the formula and showed them how to win with that formula.
Okay.
Do you honestly believe that was because of Steve Kerr?
I think he had parts of it.
I think he walked into the best situation you could ever walk into.
There's no doubt about that, but great players still need good coaches. Do you believe Mark Jackson could have led this team to 4 championships?
Yes. If he is improving every year, and that's why that's why him getting fired is such mind-blowing. Because he is improved. Because before you get players to buy in, you have to build. You have to build their confidence. You have to build what's going on there. You can't just walk in. Hey guys, I play with Michael Jordan. This is what we finna do. No, you can't do that.
So May 2014 is when Steve Kerr became the coach, and I think when Jackson was let go, it was because there were high expectations. But again, like I said, Mark Jackson, based on the stats, you could probably argue that he was a good coach. But you and I, everyone at this table knows you have to win the big ones to get that moniker of greatness. You have to win the big ones to be called a good coach. I hate to say it's true.
It's true.
But it's true.
They had a worn out Baron Davis, a worn out Steven Jackson, and who was they center? Andre
I don't know.
Benajelli or something like that.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
They had a team that shouldn't even been in the playoffs. To be honest with you,
but Mark Jackson couldn't coach them to get it done, though.
It's hard if you don't got the team. You can only go so far.
That's what I'm saying about Steve Nash. That's all I'm saying.
Even with the Spurs, they have some crappy rosters some years.
Oh yeah.
And the only reason they go as far as they go is because of who?
Pop.
But don't mean they win a championship every year, do they?
They don't. But he's done it though.
Oh my God.
He's done it though. Has he done it?
He didn't win his first 3 years.
No, he didn't.
Okay, then. So why did he got to win his first 3 years in order to prove himself?
No one said that.
No one said that. Is that what he just said?
That's not what I said. I said Steve Kerr came in and took the franchise and took them to 4 titles. Yeah. That's what I said.
Just my thing. When you say that, I get that. But here's my thing. Because Steve Nash only coached them 2 years, 3 years, including this year. Those 2 years that he coached them, they had winning records. So I think Steve got to the point where even though Steve Nash is not gonna wow out and say, no, I got it. He's gonna be completely honest, be like, hey, these guys aren't buying in. I can see it. I can see these guys not buying in. And to be honest with you, I mean, the thing that was going around Twitter was Steve Nash should be happy he getting out of the situation because the problematic player that Kyrie Irving is. Then you also have the Twitter assassin that KD is, and it's one of those things where you have two people who aren't.
Where's his publicist? He needs.
They're not leaders. They're not leaders. Of course, he has a publicist. They're not leaders. So when I look at these coaches, or when I look at the Steve Nash situation, I feel like he was a scapegoat, because because that's the first thing you do, because you're not going to hold these players accountable, or if you do hold them accountable, you can only do so much with them. And then Steve Nash didn't have a huge bug in the GM and owner's ear to where it's like, hey, I want this guy, this guy, this guy. Yeah. And then when you're losing and you start off as 2-5, you're putting it all on the coach, like, hey, what are you doing? And he was just honest, like, hey, these guys aren't buying in.
Yeah. Well, I think that what I will say is I haven't been a Nash fan. Was he a scapegoat? Obviously, but we knew that. I think Steve Kerr would probably agree with both of you, because Steve Kerr commented on the situation and said, it's a good reminder to me, and I think all coaches, that we are the whim of players, front offices, and ownership. You really need a good situation in which to thrive as a coach in this league. He said Eric Spoelstra got one. I have one in Golden State, and we're just really lucky. He said, you throw either one of us in the situation, and we wouldn't have done any better than Steve Nash. Now I'm gonna give Steve Kerr props for bringing a light to the fact that he acknowledges, yes, I got lucky with Golden State, and Nash didn't have a good situation. But here's my thing: how gooder, not really aware, we don't say it. How gooder or better of a situation do you need than Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving?
I think they give him. I think you give him this whole year. I don't think you fire him before even 10 games. Like Kesey always say, give him 20 games.
But I think he indirectly asked for his way out.
That could be true too.
Because he said what? What did he say? What's about the punchline?
They're not buying in.
That should be a poster. They're not buying in. Steve Nash. If you want to get fired, tell your boss that people aren't buying in.
I'm not good at my job. All right, then we'll get rid of you. We'll walk you out of the door. Don't even worry about it.
Yep. But at least he was big enough to admit that.
I agree with you. I mean, my thing, like I said before, I didn't think he got a fair shake. I think he should have played out this whole year, because you start off at 2-5, you let the media. But I also think this too. That was a big thing. Like, if I go to my boss and be like, hey, I'm not really doing a good job here, and he look at me like, well, I know some people who want this job, so I guess we can part ways. So my next question for you guys, we talked about what was her name?
Nia
Longhusband. Wow. We talked about him. Now, at first, they was already, hey, he got the job. He got it. They came out and was like, no, we don't. Relax, everybody.
They also said, no, they didn't fire Steve Nash, and it came out an hour later.
I know, right? But do you think that should be the next move? Kesey?
Email?
Yeah. Before you say, Nia, baby, you can do better. We all know she can do better, but
before I say anything, I just want to say, Nia, baby, I told you could do better.
Hey, somebody cue up the soul food song. What's up? Loving you is
cue
like
up,
food.
Mama.
No.
Mama.
Just the part, loving you is like food to my soul, because that's what you be on with Nia, baby.
All right, go ahead.
Come on, man. It's disappointing that brother did that to me. Come on, man. You gotta be honest. Be honest with yourself, man. You was thinking the same thing I was thinking. You just didn't say it. I beat you to the punch.
Oh, we always thinking. What? All right, go ahead, Keith. What do you think?
I think it just puts more.
He was a Brooklyn assistant.
I know, but it just puts so much more dysfunction in an organization. The organization is all over the place right now.
It's facts.
There's nothing going on in that organization that sounds positive right now. KD wants out. Irvin's doing what he want to do.
Literally.
So here's my
Sean
thing.
Marks is just like, he turned it into Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you don't do what he say do, it's over with for you now.
DTA.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's so much dysfunction in that organization. I wouldn't even want to coach in that organization right now, because nothing is going to go right. Nothing. It has to be
Yeah.
That organization is now at a point where it has to make some big time moves. Now, not next week.
So on this one,
like today.
So here's the
They
thing.
need to be on the phones.
So here's my thing. When you talk about coaching and players respecting the coach, he was a Brooklyn assistant. They know him. They mess with him. And especially because he didn't cheat on his girlfriend. Of course they mess. Oh, all right. Okay, player, I see you. So, but do you think this is the right move? Because if not him, then who?
But at the end of the day, does that matter to Kyrie?
I mean, I think you honestly pull him and KD in the room. I think you pull him in the room and be like, who y'all want to coach?
Just think about about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the situations he's been in, Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
He's been under some good coaches.
That's true.
But has it changed who he is as a person?
No. That's why I said you pull him in the room.
So it doesn't matter. You think Ime Udoka gonna make a difference?
I think he makes somewhat of a difference.
I think he'll teach them how to be defensive players.
What he's gonna do is tell him.
I think he'll command the respect. I think he'll command the respect.
For real, bro? Nia? For real?
Now,
I mean, they all do it.
Of course, they're gonna have a 20-minute conversation about that. But after we had this 20-minute conversation, I don't want to talk about it no more. So get it out now. So
they're not gonna respect him. He's not gonna get the locker room respect right now.
Keisha, you don't respect him. Everybody else, we cool with it. We moved on.
I don't have a problem with him.
You sure?
You sure?
I don't. I'm just telling you what other grown men think when things like that happen. You know the protocols, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't respect the organization protocols, what makes you think I gotta respect you?
So you're saying he walking there as a bad boy and they're gonna follow suit?
They're gonna think they're gonna think they can get away with stuff, and they're gonna be like, "Well, you did that, so why should I care what you think?" That's the type of mentality that they have.
So the Brooklyn Nets fired Steve Nash. Should also fire the GM. So because they're in the same. I mean, he took on that god awful Ben Simmons deal that's about to blow up in their face.
They don't know that yet.
Oh, we do.
They don't know that.
Yeah, okay, but they will.
Okay. I was posed the same question to you.
As far as the coaching is concerned, I like the move, but I don't like blind hires in the middle of the season, and that's a blind hire. And what I mean by
he just took Boston to the NBA Finals,
but he's also suspended from Boston right now.
Yeah, they said Boston said y'all want to hire him, go ahead.
But when I say a blind hire, we're 10 games into the season.
Mm-hmm. That ain't nothing.
Brooklyn it's nothing, but they're dysfunctional.
They are.
Kyrie has his issues off the court right now. KD clearly wants out of Brooklyn.
I don't think he clearly wants out.
Ben Simmons, no one really knows what's going on. Any coach that comes into this job is under a microscope. So I agree with Bro on that. I don't have any problems with the former coach of the Boston Celtics.
I think Ime Udoka, I think he's a good coach, but the situation that he will be coming into is detrimental right now. It is in shambles.
You know, I think he would be okay I think he'll help them defensively. But again, it's hard to get grown men to do something that they're used to.
And then let's not mention Kyrie is not going to be playing anytime soon.
Yeah, I think
he only 5 games.
No, I think it's going
to be at least
5 games.
I think it'd be a little longer than that. I think they will try to find a way to part ways.
I don't think he spends the rest of the season there.
I think they'll find a way to try to part ways.
Well, speaking of Kyrie, Kyrie was condemned
Mm-hmm.
last week by the Nets owner, among others in the NBA, for tweeting a link to a 2018 movie called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which is based on Ronald Dalton book of the same name and has been blasted as anti-Semitic by civil rights groups. He was talking about the Jews, okay? He was talking about the Jews. Let's just cut through and he was talking about the Jews. Now,
that's what anti-Semitic is.
I know. I just said that. I just cut through the big words and cut right through it. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. Anyways, but that was, and it led to a clip with Kyrie Irving and a reporter. Cool. Kyrie Irving and the reporter. Tone.
I was already there.
Were you? You didn't say nothing.
It's on the screen, bro.
It just popped up. I just said.
Can you hear it?
No.
We cannot. We cannot hear it.
All right, give me a minute.
Okay. While we're waiting, I want to know your guys' thoughts on, and we talked about this off of mic, so this is obviously a sensitive topic, but I want to know your thoughts right away when you heard about this. Your instant thoughts.
My first
Oh,
thought.
I want to hear from Dre first.
No. First off, I wanted to know what it actually meant.
The
That
book?
was my first thought. Like, let me see what they're talking about before I make any judgment.
Mhm.
Let me go and see. Then I got a little bit of background information, not a whole lot, just a little bit, and it automatically clicked that this was not going to be good.
Mm.
I automatically knew.
Go ahead.
No, I got it.
Okay.
He got it. You tell him to do his job.
As soon as I got a little bit of background information, it automatically took me to a place where I knew this was not going to be good for him. Automatically.
I'm be honest with you. Can I be really honest with you? I didn't think. My first thought was, oh, Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie.
No, I didn't even say all Kyrie. I said, let me see first. And then I did a little bit of information. You know, they tell you to,
Do your research.
Did a little
You
bit
did
of
what he didn't do.
did a little bit of
You
research.
did what he didn't do.
Did a little bit of research.
Here's my thing.
And the first thought I said was, hey, he done fucked up again.
Kanye. Him and Kanye.
This my thing about
drinking the
here's my
same
thing about
Kool-Aid.
here's my thing about Kyrie. If you, and this is one of my questions, like if you truly honestly believe this, and I think Kyrie watched the movie and he was like, you know what, you're right, let me post this. I don't think Kyrie is oblivious to what he's posting. So, but I also don't think Kyrie didn't think he was going to get the backlash that he got.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Kyrie thought we as black people was going to be like, right on, my brother, right on. And it is some people out there like that, but it's not enough.
There's actually a lot of people defending Kyrie.
Yeah, but it's not enough because you are in, quote unquote, a white man's world. And you play for a white man, a Jewish white man. So for you to sit here and say this, now you can say that in a room full of people who are with you. You can say this in a room full of people. You can say this among your cousins. But once you go to work, we all know we work in these environments where we can't say what we really want to.
Oh, no.
Now, as a corporate man that Dre is, I would really like to hear his opinion. What did you first think when you heard about this situation?
Actions have consequences.
All right.
Whether you agree or disagree with whatever the statement is, actions have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
I could have an opinion about something in my career, in my personal life, in my religion, in my politics. And if I'm going to stand behind comments, whether people agree or disagree with them, whether I feel like I'm right or wrong, the actions of my comments will have consequences. And his actions have consequences.
We're going to go ahead and play a clip where Kyrie got into it with the reporter.
To follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book,
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it. You see me doing? Do you see me
By
in front of
putting
the,
it out there,
the
people
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put it out there
promoting.
just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not
You put
stuff,
things out there for a living, right?
right? But my
Great,
stuff
great.
is
So
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
another
You're
human
free to
being.
post
I can
what.
post whatever I want.
you
So
can
say
post what-
that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to
post-
understand anything from you.
but it's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no
posting
people that
what
you're
you
making up,
did.
bro. Move on.
But by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question. Next
anybody
question. Do
is
you
going
guys
to
have
look
any more
at
questions
it
for
and they're
me?
going to say,
You guys have any more
Does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a
anti-Semitic
clip.
beliefs?
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
but you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie, basketball related.
Yeah, they bounced him out of here. Real quick, this is my problem about this clip. Kyrie wants to play the victim, but he also wants to stand 10 toes down. You can't do both. When somebody's calling you out, but like, hey, what do you want to comment on that stuff that you posted on your? Well, I'm not promoting it. You posted on your thing. You posted it on your social media. You have millions of followers. Then on top of that, when somebody calls you out on that, you like, nope, don't try to dehumanize me. And then you're gonna turn around and dehumanize that reporter. This is the guy from ESPN. Kyrie already doesn't like the reporters from ESPN. He don't like ESPN. He's made that perfectly clear. How he talks about them, how he talks to them, how he talks to even people like Stephen A. Like he don't like them. So for when he's talking about don't dehumanize me, and he turns around and dehumanizes this reporter for saying, "Hey, just answer my question," is one of those things where that's why his people got him up out of there real quick because it was about to get real ugly.
Because the word he was using is probably what was offending him. Because I don't think the post was to promote it. I think it was more to be like, did y'all see this too?
No, that is not what it was.
Either it, but
That was
when you
not-
post something on social
I
media,
mean,
we all have
it's just like what other people do when they post something. Is they post something and they want to see what everybody else got to think and what they got to say.
On my personal Twitter,
Yeah, your personal Twitter.
Oh,
But I'm
listen
saying
to me.
we're talking about a world of people. Your platform is you don't use your platform that way.
You ain't
We're
heard? Dre popular on social media. Go ahead.
Oh man, here we go.
listen,
Drake's
hold on, let me
rocking
finish. In a
on
world,
IG, baby.
before you go in a world of social media,
listen. Go ahead, finish your thought.
in a world of social media that we live in now,
Mm,
a lot of people post things to see what other people think and
Mhm.
what they're going to say when they see it.
Mhm.
And I think maybe he was thinking, I don't know for sure, but most people when they post it, they want to see what everybody else in the world is going to think when they post it. Not the point of what it was actually about to them, but let me see what other people are going to post about it.
I'm gonna let Dre go, but I think that's
Because
a real
I don't
gray
think-
area. That's a real gray way
No,
of looking
bro.
at it.
That's a tap dance. That's a tap dance.
I'm trying to get a brother some credit.
Listen, on my Instagram personal right now, the first picture
Here we go.
is 3 students and it says 3 grad plus generations of Maduhanos. What am I promoting?
You're promoting the graduating
Grad
students
plus.
of such
Grad
and such.
plus.
The next one says black and white ball 1100 strong. What am I promoting?
The black and white ball.
The next one says go vote
All right, we
2022. No.
We don't need to keep going
No,
all
it's
the way down your
it-
Hold on.
timeline.
Before you go any further, just pick one random person on your friend list and click their post.
Don't say their names.
Don't say the name. Just pick one and see what they post.
Okay. A Starbucks drink that says holiday drink me please. They're promoting their Starbucks drink. When you and I go to the Bucks
That's
game,
promoting it.
that is absolutely
because it's
promoting it.
delicious, and you be like, "Hey,
When no. Hold up.
Hold
Are you on there?
Hold up. Hold
am
up.
I
Are
on
you on there?
Hold up.
Mhm.
Let me get this.
Click one. and
Let me
see
get
what
this.
yours say.
chicken salad?"
Hold up. When we go,
you promoting
Casey,
salad?
Casey, when we went to the first time we were behind the scenes of the Bucks, and you got them laughing tacos, and you posted it on your Instagram, what were you doing? You were promoting the laughing taco. Let me finish.
I don't think I was promoting the laughing tacos.
Casey, let me finish.
I was just trying to
Casey,
see what
you
everybody else.
Oh, you asked
No,
me a question.
no,
You
it
asked
was-
me a
you asked me a
question.
question.
You asked me a question. Go ahead.
it was rhetorical. Like you, let me
I want
let
to
me finish.
I want to answer.
You can answer
I
what
want
I've
to answer.
done.
No,
No,
answer now.
Let him, okay, hold on a second. Let him go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Jake. Go ahead. Jake.
So Casey posted those laughing tacos.
Uh-huh.
Not only did he promote it on his Instagram, we took 15 minutes of the next show to talk about those laughing tacos. They should have paid you an endorsement deal.
You should be getting the check.
Social media is a powerful tool, and we all are examples whether we want to be or not. Kyrie chose to retweet or repost. So now, unfortunately, you fall. The minute you retweet, you fall on that side of promotion, just like all the election deniers.
I agree. I mean, I'm just trying to give the brother credit. I'm just trying to find a positive in it so that maybe people can see a positive in it, that he really wasn't being on that side of it. You know what I mean?
He has since apologized.
No.
And I think
He's donated money. Yes, he has. He
I
has
don't
since
think- I
apologized.
don't
yes or
think-
no,
I don't
but
think
we
he
will
was
get
really
there.
rocking with what was the negative part of it. I think he was just trying to put people aware of what it was.
But go
because you
ahead.
know he does a lot of reading now, right?
He does.
He does a lot of check this out and let me check that out. And I don't think sometimes people do things and they don't think.
I think, but
and
go ahead.
if he would have went through his publicist first, I think
Oh, they
his pub-
definitely would have told him not to post
they
that.
would have told him not to post it. But
But
when
you can't
when
tell
when
Kyrie
you in the
nothing.
moment, it's just like if you seen something on TV,
Mhm.
and you like, I don't know. I wonder what people would think. I'm just gonna say, give them a little clip or something, right?
Here's
Just
my
to
thing.
see what they think. I'm not gonna tell them what I think yet. I
But
just want to see what
did
they,
y'all see this?
Yeah.
I see what you're going with this. I do see what you're going with this. And just like, and I see both points here, because just like when Dre brought up the Starbucks drink, if you put hey, y'all better get y'all better get one of these. What's that? It's a chicken salad. Hey, y'all better get one of these chicken salad. Oh, okay. Where is that? Over there on the corner, Burleigh and such and such. Oh, okay. Let me get one of them chicken sandwiches.
Okay, now back to the laughing taco now.
When you did the laughing taco, we was like, if somebody commented under, oh, where you get that from? Oh man,
and now we can't go to the game without getting what? Laughing tacos.
So it's one of those. It's a promotion, but you don't have to tell people to go.
But that's just like comparing apples to oranges. That are two totally different things. We're talking about something that's delicious, delicious.
When
We're
we
not
hold on a second,
talking about
I'll go.
We're not talking about something that's cultural, that can be taken in many different contexts.
I'll go here.
You know automatically when I posted those tacos, you automatically knew what they was either good or they was bad, right?
But check this out, Keith.
So when he posted that video, he wanted to see if people thought it was good or bad, like he did.
Then you ask the question and say, "Hey." You retweet and say, "What are your thoughts on this?"
There you go.
But okay, you don't retweet and agree with it, right?
What was the actual tweet to say it in?
Pull up the tweet.
There was no tweet. It got deleted.
It got deleted. It's off the internet.
So nobody actually got to see the tweet.
It was retweeted millions of times.
What was the actual tweet?
The tweet was the link. It was a link to this book. That's it.
And that's it, right?
That's promotion.
That's not promotion.
He has millions of followers.
Hold on a second. If I say to you, if I put on my page or we put on 94 feet page, Black Lives Matter, and we got somebody else that says, "Oh, why y'all say Blue Lives Matter?" You know what I'm talking about when I say Black Lives Matter, and you know where I stand.
Well,
point blank, period. Well, hold on a second. There's no tap dancing around. There's no, hey, what do you guys think? No, it's Black Lives Matter. So when you talk about, because right now, Kyrie on some Hotep, and when you on some Hotep, you better stand in it.
I think he shouldn't have posted it the way he posted it.
All he did was post a link. All he did was, and if you're posting a link from Amazon, that who is not gonna click it?
And you're promoting the book.
And my thing is,
and he's not wrong if that's what he agrees with. Right. Yeah. Okay. But you have to stand behind what you think you agree with.
You stand behind what you did and you man up to it.
But he has since apologized.
I totally agree about that part. But at the same time, I've heard no one bring up the person who made that video.
He's not an NBA player.
Huh?
He's not an NBA player.
It doesn't matter if
that person got ridiculed, but because Kyrie is more popular, because Kyrie's on a larger scale of popularity, and he's getting endorsements, he's getting money from all these people. Don't think we're not finna say nothing. Kanye West, you think we're not finna say that we giving you all this money? You crazy?
And Kanye West, to put, since you brought him up, he's another that needs to just have.
We've been new Kanye West shit up a long time ago. But the point is,
Ben should have went through his publicist like 9 years ago.
He did, but when his publicist told him one thing, he did
his mental safety.
As soon as he finished through the wire, he should have got a publicist to check everything he put out.
But I mean, like I said before, not only has the owner been on top of Kyrie, the rest of the NBA, and I also have another clip of Charles Barkley from Inside the NBA on TNT, and with his comments,
Shaq went in on him too.
He went on. Shaq kind of, I ain't gonna say tiptoed around it. Shaq went on from a social media perspective, because he's probably the only one at the table who has a large social media following.
He said, "I'm sick of Kyrie Irving."
Yeah, because we talking about non-basketball stuff.
Yeah,
I agree. If you want to play the
agree
Charles Barkley clip,
go ahead, Tone, with the next clip, please. And so as we're preparing the next clip, I'm gonna say it like this: these type of things are distractions for the NBA.
It's distractions for the NBA.
It's distractions for your team,
your teammates.
In fact, the next game there was a front row courtside seats of people wearing.
I retweeted it.
So you're promoting the fact that you don't agree with
No,
these comments.
I retweeted it and said underneath the comments, "This is hilarious."
Right, exactly.
It is hilarious. It was hilarious.
There was a whole courtside row of people facing Kyrie wearing what did it say?
It was like stop the hate. Or
yeah,
something
stop
like,
the hater,
or
stop
something like,
anti,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But my thing is though, the brother never said one thing bad.
If
You
you
don't
He
don't
didn't say one thing
Actions
bad.
speak louder than words.
that's just like
Actions always speak louder.
that's
than
just
words.
like the Jeffrey Dahmer movie we talked about. Now the families are speaking up. We had no idea they were doing this. They didn't talk to us, but everybody sharing the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix and us talking about it is doing what? Promoting
It
it.
was a good series.
Bottom line, I will never
Hey.
watch it.
Listen,
I will never watch it. But now
Hey,
those
hey,
families have to relive that.
now that y'all bring that up,
You seen it?
it's bad.
You
I
seen
will
it?
never
It's
watch
not
it.
that. It's not the point of watching it.
Did you see
I, you know, I like to play Call of Duty, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And my name is blank blank 414.
Okay.
And somebody goes, "Hey, did you meet Dahmer?"
Did you say yeah?
Oh my God.
I said, "Did your mom?"
Video game tough. I love it.
Oh my God!
Do you say did your mama?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Wow.
Because why would you say that? Just because you seen the 414? Everybody know 414 means
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Right.
So Matt
Man,
immediately his mind went to Milwaukee, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
So I said, "Did your mama?"
wow. And what he said?
I don't know. I muted. You can mute players out
I
there.
know,
And that's
but
what
I'm
I did.
just-
I muted him because I didn't want to go in with him.
Yeah.
I don't want to go
He
there.
said, "Did your mama?" Go
ahead,
ahead,
Tone.
go ahead, Tone. He said, "Did your mama?" Wow. To an 11-year-old.
I think Adam should
It
have
wasn't an
suspended
11-year-old, I don't think.
First of all, Adam's Jewish. You can't take my $40 million and insult my religion. You're going to insult me. You have the right, but I have the right to say, no, you're not going to take my $40 million and insult my religion. I think the NBA, they made a mistake. We have suspended people and fined people who have made homophobic slurs. And that was the right thing to do. I think if you insult the black community, you should be suspended or fined heavily, depending. I saw they did the same thing to the kid in Minnesota this year when he made the gay slur. I think you should get suspended or fined. I think him acknowledging the Alex Jones things should have happened with that too, because that dude's crazy. And I can't believe that we ain't talking about that. We're talking about this idiot.
And I reason I played that clip because I saw how a lot of people feel in the NBA, but I also played that clip because I feel like Barkley hit the hammer on the nail when he talked about, because if let's say Kyrie would have been white and he would have said something about the black community, or if he would have promoted something from a Ku Klux Klan member, like a book or whatever the case may be, we would have went ham. We would have went ham. If he'd talked about something about the gay community, they would have went ham. So when you talk about how Kyrie is not even, I think Kyrie knows exactly what he's doing. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a Hotep nigga, but you can't sit here and
He's a
take
what?
Hotep.
What does that mean?
You know what a Hotep is?
No.
We'll
I
talk
don't
about it
either.
later. Y'all don't know what a Hotep
No,
is?
tell us. You can't say it and talk about it later. Just say it. What is it?
Buys into blackness blindly.
Oh.
Thank you, Tom. I can't believe y'all don't know
I
what a
never
Hotep
heard that
I've
before.
never heard of that
It's
before.
those who always preach the propaganda that black this, black that, black man here, black man there.
And they kind of discredit black women for doing their part in civil justice.
And this is the
whatever.
same guy that partied on the boat with non-sisters, right?
That is true,
Oh, okay.
but that's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but the point is, you go
I'm
into
lost.
you so black that you go into it blindly.
Kyrie. We're
Oh,
talking about Kyrie.
You're talking about
Kyrie
was on a
claims to be
boat
so
with a-
pro-black, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's what that book is promoting. It's a pro-black book, but it's also a Hotep book where you are so pro-black that you take away from the other struggles from other communities, and then on top of that, you in this white man world taking all this white man money, but you want the privilege of saying what you can say because you have a large audience. And so when Charles Barkley was like, I think he should have got suspended right away, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was thinking, like, what are we waiting for? Now, eventually we're going to talk about the consequences and repercussions of what he said, but it took too long. Like they was trying. You had all these people coming here like, hey, I think Kyrie should really like talk to somebody about this and really get an understanding. No, he know exactly
But my
what
thing
he
is though,
doing.
like my whole thing is with it, like people say things all the time that they know they're not supposed to say,
And they get fined.
and they get fined, and they
And
get this, and
suspended.
they get that. He didn't really say much though.
He said a lot after it's a two-part story. When he tweeted or shared the book on his social, he said a lot after. He talked to reporters.
He didn't say.
He
wasn't-
never once
No,
said
he wasn't
he
apologetic for it. He
He
wasn't
never
apologetic
said
for it.
once that he hated this group of people. He never said once he agreed with those group of people. He never once said
But
anything
the book is hateful. The book says those things. The book is proclaiming these things according to the reviews.
everybody know in the world that you're not supposed to say the N-word if you're not black, right?
You shouldn't say it at all, but go ahead.
But people still say it.
Yeah.
And what
They still
happens?
act like they privileged enough to say it, right?
Mhm.
And walk around their organization like it's their job to say whatever they want to say whenever they want to say.
Talking about the Phoenix Suns owner who's also being forced to sell that team, but go ahead.
I'm just saying, like
So here's my question for you, Keith.
if he would have gave some type of energy of he was supporting it, I would be like,
how much?
put it. I don't think it's 100% saying he supported
Kesey.
because
stop.
just how social media is today,
Stop.
this is why I say I hate text messages. This is why I say I hate
Oh, I know
social
you
media
hate it.
now,
Good
because
response.
you could never know a person's true intent behind something because it can be taken so many different ways.
The clap.
Like you can text me right now.
And you won't respond.
You could be like, "What up?"
Mhm.
That could be taken so many different ways. That could be telling like, "What's up, bro? How you doing?"
Mhm.
Or it could be like saying, "What up? I got a problem with you."
Well, I'm gonna call you for that.
Not everybody does that anymore.
So I hear what you're saying, but I also think that we have to remember that when you are in positions of power and influence, you have to be responsible. Like for me, for example, I cannot go on social media and Trump bash or Scott Walker bash or Joe Biden bash or Kamala Harris bash. I can't do that
Because you're
in the
Republican?
role that I have.
'Cause you're
right?
Republican?
I agree.
Chill out. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I cannot go on my page and say defund the police. I cannot do certain things when you're in certain levels. It doesn't mean that you don't believe in one thing or the other, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you're not supportive of one political party or one action. It just means you have to remember the role that you play. As people of influence, the responsibility is to allow people to know you as you are. Right. Stand for something, fall for anything. If you're fighting against racism, that's one thing. But if you're promoting something that brings down another religion, race, creed, it's a form of hate, whether you meant it or not.
Mm.
Bottom line.
Mhm.
Bottom line. That's what it is.
That is speaking of Andre Douglas Luther.
I mean, that's
King.
how you can take it, but it's other people
Junior.
that can take. I'm just being the devil advocate in this.
No, and I get it.
I understand.
I mean,
I get it, and I don't
like-
fully disagree with
Because
what
I'm
you
not
said.
saying I agree with him, but I'm also saying how it can be taken in different perspectives.
Oh, I tell my mom all the time. I told her, I said, we are no longer texting each other because you take everything out of context. Like, why are you yelling at me?
Well, first
You know what I'm
of
saying?
all-
No, stop.
first of
Why are
all,
you yelling? Like she'll say,
you be out of
please
pocket.
don't
We-
talk to me like that. I'm like, it's a text message. What are you talking about? Chill out.
Come
Don't.
on, man.
And then I'll hit. And
Even
then
I
I'll,
know you supposed to text your parents a certain way. You can't be texting them all wow.
and then I'll call and say.
Wow.
Then I'll call and say, hey, let's talk because clearly you're misunderstanding what I'm saying in this message.
But that's exactly what I'm saying.
Same with
The-
employees.
the-
I
the-
tell employees, I'm sorry, Keith, I tell employees, if you're running late or not coming, don't text me because text is not a true form of communications nor is it
Well,
business.
I'm talking to the worst two texters.
I admit it.
in
I'm
America.
doing better. I'm down to
But, when,
411.
but let me ask you this though: when you call me, do I answer?
What?
When you call me, do I answer?
You want me to answer that?
Occasionally.
Oh, when you want to. If you
Occasionally.
feel like it.
90% of the time I answer, or I call you right
75.
back.
75.
90% of the time.
90. We're talking 75.
So if I'm wiping my baby's ass and he's full of shit, you want me to just stop and answer the phone? I'm just
I
saying.
swear, Keezy.
I'm being honest.
Keezy, you know what?
Those are the times he
You
called
always
me.
know. Come on,
Those are
juggler.
the times he called me.
We're not gonna bring this on the pod. We're not gonna bring this on the pod because Keezy, it'd be like 7 o'clock. What? I'm like, dude, I just wanted to call you.
No, and you know Kesey's the type. Kesey can't never call you your name.
Mm-mm.
What up, bitch?
No, not only that. What you want? What you
What you
want?
want?
I'm just calling you something about the
Like,
pod.
How you doing, brother? I'm in my skin, bitch.
On the defense.
With
But you know
him,
what? It's neither here nor there.
There's only two reasons he calling you.
What?
Either he wants something
Or to talk crazy.
or to talk crazy. One of the two. One of the two.
I'm gonna say,
And look, we hadn't even rehearsed that, and he knew.
you know what?
Right.
I'm not gonna. That's neither here
And
nor there.
90% of the
We're
time he calls.
neither here nor there. We talking about Kyrie.
and then
We talking
90%
about Kyrie.
And then
okay?
90% of the time he really talking crazy. That's what he really wanted to
That's
do.
not
He
even-
Tell
really
us
wanted-
what we did wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move past all this personal stuff. We talking about Kyrie. So anyways, so the Brooklyn Nets have suspended Kyrie for at least 5 games without pay, or after publicly apologizing for the film. These are the conditions that Kyrie needs for reinstatement. He needs a public statement condemning the movie and apologize.
Which was done.
Hold on a second, because you keep saying that, but he apologized through a social
It's
media
still an
statement.
apology.
It's just
No,
a public-
they want
it's a
him
public-
to sit in
it's-
front of reporters and say,
That is
"Hey,
not what
I
that
condemn this
says.
movie."
It says
That
a
is
public,
not
it
what
says
that
a public
says.
statement, which means it could be on any public platform.
A public
Okay.
statement. Tom Brady
Well,
announced his
okay.
divorce on Instagram.
Well, let me finish first, then we're
Did
gonna
he?
get into that.
Yes, he put out a whole statement on his divorce on Instagram.
Yeah, because it's a divorce. It's a personal matter. He didn't get in front of hey, I'm getting a divorce.
It was
We
a
already
whole
know, Tom.
statement. It was a whole statement.
We
Go
already
ahead.
know,
Go
Tom.
ahead.
But
Go ahead.
anyways,
Go ahead.
Sensitivity training.
sensitivity training.
Which
training.
players should go through anyway. We have to go through it as employers,
Can I
as
finish first?
teachers. You're saying points, and we're saying things we agree with. Go ahead.
And then an anti-symptomatic? No, it's not symptomatic. Semitic training.
Sematic. I'm sorry.
then he
Sematic. You
needs
got
to-
me saying it wrong now.
And then he needs to meet with an ADL. I don't know what that is. There you go.
Semitic.
Jewish leaders, and then he needs to meet with the owner to the team so he can.
I
For
think that's a bit
understanding.
much.
So my question was, do you guys think this is too much? Or do you think the Brooklyn Nets are asking for too much?
I think it's a bit much, but I think the consequences have to fit the bill. When I was an RA in college, they made us go through all kind of safe zone trainings to be sensitive to the needs of the LGBT community.
Mhm.
They made us do things around black boxes and walls to understand the plight that African Americans had to go through. So we had to go through all these type of trainings. I mean, he put out a big statement. We won't read it. It's a lot. He put out a big statement, and I think that was commendable. It was on his personal Instagram. Whoever did it, it doesn't matter. It's a statement. So that part is done. What are you hoping to accomplish with him meeting with the Jewish community? Are you hoping for him to get educated, or are you hoping it to be a forum for you to raise your issues and go crazy at me? Because if it's that, I don't blame him. I wouldn't do that either.
So my thing about this is
Now, if you
like
want, hold
Charles.
up, let
go ahead.
me preface because people hear what they want to hear. If you want me to come to the community to educate me on what happened, perfect example, UW Whitewater. There was a fraternity, Tau Kappa Epsilon. I will never forget it. They came on stage and they were mimicking the Charles Barkley I'm not a role model commercial, but they did it in black face paint. So all of the black folks, we were upset by that because anyone that knows wearing blackface is a form of racism, right? It is a form that set our people back years ago. Research, we don't have time to teach you about it today. One of their consequences were they had to issue a public apology. Their fraternity was suspended, and they had to come to a BSU meeting to address the student body to learn why this was offensive.
Real
Now,
quick
if
question.
they're doing that, I get that,
So
but we
here's my
weren't
question
allowed.
for
Hold
you.
up, we
Go
weren't
ahead.
allowed to bash them. We weren't allowed to call them out their names. And unfortunately, in today's world, public forums become the opposite. They become less about teaching and more about lynching, more about criticizing, more about beating a person up that's already taking a public pounding.
Okay, so my question for you is, because this is back in the day, you old, so this is like kind of
2002, so about 20 years.
So this is a little bit. This would be way before social media.
No,
So-
we had Black Planet and PAX. And
Come on, man. Come on, stop it. Black Planet wasn't a place to spill your opinions. More a place for. Anyways, the point of the matter is
that was sliding to DMs before sliding into
Exactly.
DMs.
So
right.
my question, that's my question for you is, like, if you take that situation, because unfortunately white folks still doing blackface, you take that situation and you bring it into 2022, and because y'all saying he did the public apology because he did it on his personal Facebook page, on his personal Instagram page. To me, that's not good enough, because
Wow.
I want that same kind of energy that you had for that reporter. I want you to sit in front of these microphones and have I want the public apology. I want you to not only go for sensitivity training, and I want you to meet up with these people, because I think what they're trying to do is trying to teach Kyrie to be like, hey, this is what you did was wrong, and this is why it's wrong.
And I'm
For
okay with that.
for me, that's cool. But the arrogance that Kyrie has, I don't like it, because anybody can put up, like, your publicans could be sitting there, but like, let me see your phone real quick, and let me type this out real quick. Or he could have sent that to you in an email. You just copy and paste it and put it on your Instagram. No, I need you to sit in front of these people and say this. I need you to go into these communities, and so we can tell you what you did was wrong. For me, I'm sitting in I'm on the same boat as Charles Barkley when it was like Adam Silver ain't really saying nothing, and he's Jewish.
He's requiring a meeting with Kyrie. That's not true. He said before he comes back, he has to meet with Commissioner Adam Silver.
That wasn't on here,
But it is.
It
though.
wasn't on the list.
But he does. Now we want to check the facts.
I'm just saying that was on the list. So I guess my thing about that is that, like, because Kyrie is so arrogant, because Kyrie's the type of person who stand on this type of stuff, and just to bring another shot against Kyrie, he lost. I ain't gonna say he lost his Nike deal, but they pushed back his shoe, and this is all hurting his pockets. You want to get into somebody getting their feelings, hurt their pockets. So, I mean, I need that same kind of energy for the apology, because anybody can say, yeah, I'm sorry, man, my fault. Whoa.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver issued a statement. Kyrie Irving made a reckless decision to post a link to a film containing deeply offensive material.
Mhm.
While we appreciate the fact that he agreed to work with the Brooklyn Nets and the Anti-Defamation League to combat his remarks, it is still a form of discrimination. I am disappointed that he has not offered an unqualified apology and more specifically denounced the vile and harmful content contained in the film.
So that's back what I said then.
But this was before he released the statement. And then it goes on to say, I will be meeting with Kyrie in person next week to discuss. And this was released on November 3rd. Kyrie's apology, I believe, came on Friday night. So the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be interesting. And again, here we are, a basketball podcast, and we've spent 40 minutes talking about this.
I mean, this was out in these streets.
Oh, I'm not saying it is bad, but to the point, we're talking about Kyrie again with an off the court antic again, but not talking about him why he needs to play like an all-star, why he needs to play like the player with the best handles in the NBA. Like he shouldn't play like the top 3-point guard that he should be.
I will say this: before he got suspended, he had a game versus, I think it was Chicago. It was in Brooklyn. And that's when, it was all those, I hate to say it like this, but they're Jews.
Mm-hmm.
They were sitting front row, stop the hate or whatever the case may be. He looked terrible. He looked terrible. And they lost that game, and he looked terrible. So I guess my question for you guys is, because Kesey said he's not gonna finish the season with the Brooklyn Nets.
I agree.
I don't think he will.
I agree.
No one wants him. I don't want those issues. If I'm a GM, if I'm a president, owner of a team, I do not want the Kyrie problems. I don't want them.
If you're the Lakers, you'll take him.
The Lakers do not want him. They didn't want to sign him for a long-term deal. And he was like, well, I'm out. So, we can get back to basketball as far as Brooklyn goes. I think Kyrie's going to finish his season there, and then that's going to be it for them.
What do you think happens to KD?
I think KD's going to be there until his end of his contract.
I think he demands a trade next season. I think they'll trade him to a team with a ton of draft picks, and they'll embrace rebuilding. Because if KD finishes in the bottom this year, if they don't have a playoff run, he's not going to go for that. He wanted out before this season
I
started.
think he
But
was just talking. But go ahead.
KD, you chose to follow Kyrie instead of being the alpha dog. This is what you get. Brooklyn, I'm sorry. Golden State don't want you no more.
Before the trade deadline, I
You wanna talk
guarantee you
about
they're
them?
both
You
gone.
want to talk about them?
Wow.
You said what?
Before the trade deadline, they're both gone.
I'll take that bet.
No,
KD stays the whole year.
both stay the whole year.
They both are done.
By the All-Star break.
By All-Star break, they both are gone. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Did you see KD's comments?
About what?
He supported Kyrie just a little bit too much for people liking.
He sure did.
He
And he
did.
backtracked too.
He didn't condemn it. He didn't condemn. He's like, hey, when people think that's on them. Whoa, whoa,
Then he,
whoa, whoa.
but he backtracked.
Of course he backtracked.
Oh, he backtracked.
Of course he backtracked. He ain't no fool.
Oh, he backtracked.
All these people got
But
deals.
listen.
All these people got deals with Nike.
But
He
you-
should have
but you
followed
just-
suit what
but you-
LeBron
but you-
did.
But you just saw your boy not saying things that he shouldn't be saying. He should have thought about what he put out before he actually said it, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think they go? Man, they're done. That organization cannot be successful with them two in there no more because people don't respect that organization anymore. It's just too much going on. You got Ben Simmons doing what he do. You got Kyrie doing what he
Which
do.
is nothing.
Then you got
and-
KD who's just there,
Yep.
and he's stuck in the middle because that's his homeboy.
I want to see. I want. Well, now here we're what 2 games into Kyrie
And what-
suspension.
And what they saying
They
is
2-0.
this is what he get because
Like,
he
I'm
said
sorry, 1-1.
he said he didn't want to go play with LeBron because he didn't want to deal with all the other antics that come along with playing with LeBron.
Don't like it.
But
Don't.
now look at these antics you got to deal with your homeboy. I bet you wish you'd have took on the LeBron antics than this.
Might be some truth to that.
I bet he wish he took him
Come
on.
on, KD or Kyrie?
KD.
Yes and no.
He said he didn't go play with LeBron is because he didn't want to take the backlash that came behind it. But look what you got to go through now because you went to play with your homeboy. Right now, you probably have a couple more rings, and the worst they probably be saying is LeBron help you get him. That's about it.
No one's there.
Right now, you don't even know what this organization is gonna happen next.
Mm.
You don't know what's gonna happen next with your relationship between you and your best friend.
Oh man, they going you support your friend.
No, he can't.
Y'all want to support me?
He can't support him and still be a part of the organization.
Listen,
Y'all want to support me?
there's certain things we don't do on this podcast because out of y'all respect to the role I have in this community. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Bottom line, right?
Yeah, wrong.
Wrong
Yeah,
is
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Wrong is wrong. Right is
wrong.
right.
Right is right. And Kyrie was wrong.
Before we get up out of here, earlier we talked about the Bucks' historic run. I asked this question last week. Apparently, y'all didn't hear it, so I'm gonna ask it again.
I hate you. This is why we can't support you. 'Cause you
How?
can't never just be normal. Jeez.
Well, I wonder where I get the backhanded compliments from. Anyways,
Can't believe that's what y'all think of me.
how long do you think the Bucks go without before they lose their first game?
I don't want to predict it. Tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks will be a tough challenge, but I think the Bucks can come away with it, especially if our man Giannis plays. Just real quick, looking at the Bucks' upcoming schedule. The Bucks have a pretty tough schedule coming up.
They got.
They
Houston,
do-
I
they
think they got
do.
like. I think they got like Atlanta twice.
They have I'm gonna next 6 games.
Go ahead.
Atlanta in Atlanta,
Should be
OKC in OKC.
Easy.
Win
easy.
San Antonio in San Antonio.
Tough. San Antonio's not playing bad basketball, and
They
they're a
can't-
defensive team.
They can get blew
Hold
out
up.
though.
Because remember, though, although the Bucks are 9-0, the Bucks offensively are not that great.
But they're good. They're great defensively.
They're great defensively. Go ahead.
Then we have Atlanta again at home. Then we
Okay.
got Cleveland at home.
It's a nice stretch of tough
And-
games in
And
there.
then we got
Cleveland-
Philly. Then we
Cleveland
got
81.
Philly and Philly.
But Philly doesn't have Embiid. They don't have,
They'll have them back by the
Harden.
end.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
This is a tough stretch for the Bucks because OKC, although they got blew out last night, OKC's a good young team developing. San Antonio is a great defensive team. Cleveland is actually 7-2, I think. They're second in the Eastern Conference. So
but
this
can
is a nice stretch
But I
of
want-
toughness for the Bucks. And I'm sorry, Keith, these are all road games, right? The Bucks are on the road for the
They're
next.
all road next week. All next
Yeah.
week on the road.
They're on the road. So
I'm trying to figure out why we haven't talked about those Golden State Warriors none.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
we'll go get them next week. They're not having a good
They
season.
got the same record as the
Lakers.
Lakers, and they're the
Wait.
defending champs.
What's your
What
point?
does that say?
That
What's your
Steph
point?
is getting old.
I'm just saying, Everybody clowning the Lakers off. They lose the streak, but ain't nobody clowning the Golden State Warriors off
They
there.
talk, it's whispers of it.
It's coaching.
whispers.
It's on the coach.
It's on the coach.
Steve Kerr ain't coaching.
Boy, they love you one day and hate you the next. It was
But you know what I found though with Golden State's offense, it has been impacted because do you know what they're calling now on these point guards?
don't.
They're calling that carry. They're calling Jordan Poole for that carry 2 to 3 times a game.
They are.
And they're watching that now. And Steve Kerr has already commented on how that is going to be impactful.
All I know
to
is
offense.
this.
Or do
All
you
I know
think-
is
or
this.
do you think the
Jordan
Draymond-
Poole?
Or you think the Draymond situation has caused them some dysfunction in their lineup?
I don't think that has nothing to do with it.
I
I
think
just think
I think they're all getting old.
I don't think it's that. I think it's
Despite Curry, they're all getting old.
I think it's early in the season. I think they need to figure out their chemistry. And again, the NBA this season to start, we have some really good teams this year. We have teams that have rebuilt, that have added pieces.
But you're talking about the defending champs,
Because they
the invincible Steph Curry.
He's Steph Curry. still
Steph
having a
Curry's
great
still
season.
Steph Curry.
He's still having a great
But
season.
when you have guys like Klay Thompson coming off back-to-back ACLs and not used to playing this much, you have Draymond Green who's getting older and he's not contributing as he used to once before. You have an arrogant Jordan Poole. He got overpaid. You have an Andrew Wiggins being Andrew Wiggins. I mean, he made the All-Star team last year, but let's call a spade a spade. He's not that good.
See, when I said it last week, y'all were like, he didn't get overpaid. When I said
I
it,
did say he got overpaid.
Wiggins got what
I
he
said
was supposed to
100.
be paid.
I said 100, not 120, not 140, 100.
He got what he was supposed to be paid.
Oh,
Wiggins.
overpaid.
No.
80.
Overpaid.
He could have got 90.
He did what
That's
he was
what I
supposed
said. He could have
Got
got
90.
he
Man,
could
you
have got 4 year,
motherfuckers.
80 million.
Anyways,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
has been another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. Tone is kicking us out.
Got to get ready for his next one.
So this is your boy Big Zeke.
Yo, Dre, thanks y'all for listening in. We appreciate the love and the support.
Yes.
Subscribe. Hold on, I'm sorry. Make sure you click the subscribe button, y'all. We got to make sure you click the subscribe button.
Your
Keezy.
boy Keys. Peace.
Cool.
Peace to all the good people
All
out
right.
there.
How do they listen,
Appreciate
Zeke?
y'all.
You can listen. You can get us on all social media platforms. Not yet TikTok because we're adults, and we'll see what happens. And you can also catch us on all streaming platforms.
Oh, good.
Spotify.
Google. That's good.
Wow.
94 Feet Nation.
94
Peace.
feet. Peace.